Good evening, otherworldlies. This is Juliana Angel, your Dark Mask Diva. How's everyone doing this evening? Alright, now, for this content, we're going to talk about nicknames. Now, this is Dear Angel. My significant other is calling me pet names, nicknames, stuff that I don't like. What can I do to make them stop? Okay, now you're going to see another side of me. That's, we're going into the dark tactic territory, okay? Alright, now, there's a reason I'm teaching you the dark tactics for this one, okay? And it's going to sound really, really mean and really, really awful, but here's the thing. With some of these nicknames, there's kind of a dark story behind some of them, so you're going to want to, some of these nicknames, they're not going to stop calling you the nicknames, and they're not going to take you seriously when you tell them to stop with the nicknames. So you're going to want to play dirty, okay? So never play fair in an unfair world. With the nicknames, the thing about the nicknames is here's the deal with some of these nicknames. They called their ex these nicknames, okay? They called the person they were with before these nicknames. They're calling you these nicknames because they want to call you the nicknames, not because you enjoy them. It's because they want to call you the nicknames, okay? And when you tell them to stop, they might not want to stop, okay? And they might kind of enjoy making you a little upset when they call you the nicknames. Now the thing is, the one that people are complaining to me about, I'm getting called, the number one they're complaining about is Babe. B-A-B-E, Babe. That's the one that I can't stand either. Now, the thing about Babe is, there's a reason you guys can't stand it. I'm going to tell you why. Babe is an old school nickname. Babe is something that came out of the 70s, a little bit before. Babe is something from the Sonny and Cher song, I Got You, Babe. Okay, so that came out in the early 70s. I remember I was a huge Cher fan. I just idolized Cher. I had the Cher doll. Really pretty doll, long black hair, pretty doll. You know, she had the eyelashes that came out to here. You know, they were soft eyelashes. They weren't plastic. They were like these soft eyelashes, and she had all these cool outfits and the platform shoes and everything like that. And I just loved that Cher doll. I just idolized Cher. I was just crazy about Cher. I liked all her songs, like Half Breed and all those other songs, you know, because I was a little girl in the 70s. I was just like crazy about Cher, you know, from the Sonny and Cher show and everything like that. And I just crazy about Cher. And then one day Cher just broke my heart because she came out with that song, I Got You, Babe. Yeah. And then it was over for me with Cher because the word babe. I couldn't take it. I don't like that word babe. So, and pretty soon, people were calling their significant others babe. Now you're thinking, what is the big deal with babe? Okay, a lot of people call their significant other babe. It became a very fashionable thing to do. But the thing about babe is it's one of those things that stick. And once people say it, they don't want to stop saying it. It's just one of those things that it's too easy to say. And it's one of those things that people don't just call their significant others babe. They call everybody babe. And they can just call, you know, the person at the 7-Eleven babe. They can call the waitress babe. They can call their friends babe. You know, like girls call each other babe. I mean, now everybody's just calling their kids babe. I mean, people are just saying babe all the time. And I'm going to say something really creepy. It's really easy to have a spouse named Babe and then turn around and call your side chick babe. It's you can be married and still be calling your ex babe and calling your new person babe. And you're still calling your ex babe and you're calling your new person babe. You're calling everybody babe. So it's just one of those words that it's not special. So it's easy to call somebody babe. It's easy to have that nickname and cheat on somebody and be calling everybody babe. And I mean, I know that's really dark and everything like that, but it's one of those things. If you have somebody calling you babe, unless you've been married for 25 years and you guys have been calling each other babe and you know you have this solid marriage, you can easily be cheated on, and your significant other can call someone else babe too. I know that's really dark and everything like that, but it's just one of those transferable nicknames. So the thing is, if you just meet somebody and they immediately start calling you babe, you need to tell them to stop doing it right away, because they have somebody else in their life they're also calling that. Because if they go to babe right away, they have another babe, and they've had another babe, and if they look upset, that means they already have another babe. They don't want to call you something else, because they don't want to get you mixed up with other people. They want to make sure they can call you babe, their ex-babe, someone else they like babe. They want to just call everybody babe, okay? So they don't want to mess up, and they don't want to remember a bunch of new terms of endearment for everybody. All right, so as soon as you meet somebody, what you need to do is tell them to stop calling you whatever it is they immediately call you. If they're immediately calling you something and you can tell that it just rolled off their tongue like that, trust and believe they call everybody that. They're calling their ex that. They're calling, whoever else they're seeing that. And if it's babe, trust me, they're calling somebody else babe. So, and if they get upset when you tell them to stop saying babe, okay, they're running some kind of game on you. You're like, oh my God, yeah. And that's, and you know that. That's why babe bothers you. That's why babe bothers you, okay? So people who say babe are calling everybody that. It's just one of those all-purpose things, okay? Because babe has been around since the 1970s, and people just call everyone that. Just trust and believe, okay? So one of those things, if it's another generic name, like boo or babe or bae or something like that, it doesn't have to be babe, but it could be one of those things. Tell somebody to call you something. Make up something that is completely unique, something that has your name in it. If your name is something very unusual, like I won't let people call me Boo or anything like that, except this one guy used to call me Angel Boo. Well, Angel is one of my names, so I let him call me Angel Boo because it had my name in it. I thought that's cute. He made that up. He started calling me Angel Boo. Okay, I like that, but I don't let people call me generic stuff, because they're calling a bunch of other girls that too. So if they come up with a nickname for me that is something completely descriptive of me, that has my name in it, they need to call me by my name, Juliana, or Angel. It's either Juliana or Angel. It can't be any babes or anything like that, or any sugar or any honey or anything that they're calling everybody else. They need to call me something that has my name in it. It can't be Julie. It has to be something that is my actual name or has my name in it. Because how many Julianas do you know? Do you know a whole lot of Angels? Probably not. You probably know a bunch of Julies though, right? And I just don't like being called Julie. So I make them say something like that, or it needs to be something that is descriptive of me. My nickname is Dark Mask Diva. If you want to call me Diva, that's okay. I am a diva. I don't mind being called that. I know, even if you're being sarcastic and you're making fun of me, I don't care. I know I'm a diva and I'm okay with it. I'm totally cool with it. So if you actually want to call me diva, you're actually calling me goddess. Diva is Hebrew for goddess, so if you want to honor me and worship me and call me a diva, go right ahead. And I doubt that you're going to go around calling a bunch of other women diva, and if you are, that's a little odd. I doubt that you're going to maintain that with so many other people. So if you want to call me Diva, that's fine. Diva is actually one of my nicknames. Go ahead. But it has to be, and if you go call some other woman Diva, she might take offense to it. I won't. It's actually one of my nicknames, so I'll go for Diva. You know what I mean? Or, somebody, or if somebody wants to call me Queen or Princess, that's fine too, even though that's just a little bit on the generic side. I will actually accept that one. Even though we're getting a little bit into the generic, I'll actually be okay with that one. Even though we're kind of meh, but I'll let those ones slide. But that I'm not going to go for babe and stuff like that, and boo and anything bae or anything that's like super generic, because he's calling other people that too. Okay, so now I'm going to get into the dark tactics. Okay, ready for this? They're not going to want to stop doing this. All right, so this is so mean. This is so mean, guys. Okay. So, when they start doing that, especially with a guy, men are ego-centered. Men are jealous of your exes. So, you need to come up with an imaginary ex. You need to think up, what is the guy that you're seeing, what is he insecure about? It's probably the size of what's in his pants, right? Or his muscles, or how much money he makes, or something like that. Okay, so come up with an imaginary boyfriend. Okay, if your boyfriend is short, your imaginary boyfriend was really tall, right? So whatever your current boyfriend lacks, your imaginary boyfriend was very much, the opposite in that department. So you're going to play on the insecurity of your current boyfriend who's calling you the name you don't like, right? I'm telling you, yeah, I'm going to go in right now, okay? So say like, I'm just going to be totally gross right now. Okay. So say like, your current boyfriend is insecure about the size of what's in his pants, and he won't stop saying babe. Okay. So let's say your boyfriend's name, your imaginary ex-boyfriend's name was, let's see, the one the bozo was jealous of. Okay, that one's name was Chad. So let's just say this one's name was Brad. Okay, so your imaginary ex's name was Brad, and Brad was very well endowed. So let's say Brad, just say, honey, I didn't want to tell you this. I keep telling you to stop saying babe. I have this ex named Brad. I thought you had an ex named Chad. Well, I do, but I have an ex named Brad too. Can you believe that? Brad and Chad? Yeah. Brad had a big, and he used to go, babe, look how big it is. Babe, can you believe how big it is? Babe, look. And he used to make me look, and it was really big. Like really, really, honey, he had a really big one, okay? Like a really big one. Bigger than mine. Oh, yeah. Really big. And he used to go, babe, look at it. So every time you say babe, it makes me think of how big his was. So every time you say babe, I think about his, So can you stop saying babe? Because all I can think about is it makes me think about it all day. And then I can't get my mind off of his, Stop saying babe, okay? Please. I didn't want to have to tell you. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Stop saying babe, okay? Please never say babe again. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Never say babe. He'll never say babe again. Okay. So, if your girlfriend calls you poopsie whoopsie or anything like that, when she says it a certain way, talk about your ex, give her whatever name, but like do an impression of your ex and make it seem like she had big bouncy, and do an impression of her and go ah, or whatever, you know, make her sound like some kind of hot bimbo, and say it kind of reminds me of her and her big, and how she used to, you know, every time you say that, and I can't help but think of her, you know, and her game every time you say that. Can you stop saying that, because it reminds me of her doing that with me, you know? Can you stop, because I just can't stop associating that every time you say that. So can you stop? Like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be a pervert, hun. I'm really sorry. Can you like stop saying that? And your girlfriend will get so mad. Like, can you stop saying those cutesy little names? Because that's, can you just call me this? Because she never called me this. So can you call me this? And I'll never think about it again. Because she never just called me my name. She always just called me these cutesy little names before we, you know, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be, I'm sorry, honey. I don't mean to be a pervert. I'm so sorry. So can you just, you know, call me Bill or whatever, you know, whatever your name is. And, you know, she just had big ones, and it just, like, I always think about them when you do that, and I just, can you just stop? I mean, I don't like thinking about my ex. And just, of course, it's an imaginary ex. Don't come up with your real ex. Do not ever talk about your real ex, like, ever. Because then you're going to run into her. Like, don't ever do that. Never, like, because that's just making trouble. Nobody wants to think about exes. These people will not say these stupid names again. All right? And if you want to call people pet names, don't say things like sugar booger and poopsie and stuff like that. If you want to call your boyfriend nicknames, they like to be called things like cowboy and daddy and boss, okay? They don't want to be called poopsie whoopsie silly willy, okay? And don't call them things that would embarrass them if other people heard it. Call them things that make them feel like a man. Don't call them snookum wookums, okay? And guys, don't call your girlfriend babe, because I know when you talk to your baby mama on the phone, you're going to slip up and call her babe in front of your new girlfriend. And then you're going to turn around and go, what was that, babe? To your new girlfriend. And you're going to be calling them both babe at the same time. You know that's going to happen. And they're both going to be mortified. You know that's going to happen, right? It is, like, straight up. So, I'm sorry I had to teach you guys that dark tactic, but they're never going to slip up and say that nonsense again once you do that to them. Because nobody wants to think about your exes and you being naked with them. Or their body parts. Okay, so, like, that's never going to be a problem again once you do that. And they're going to be like, why did you have to go there? I was like, I had to tell you so you would stop doing that. But I mean, don't just do that. If you have to tell them more than once to stop saying babe and snookum wookum and sugar booger and poopsie and like stuff that you don't want them to say, if you have to tell them once, twice, and just be like, I really don't like that, stop it. And the thing is, when you get with somebody new, you need to pick a completely unique thing you've never called anybody before. Like my fiance, I call him this really cool thing that I've never called anyone before because it uniquely fits him and he likes it. Well, as soon as I made it up, it fits him and he liked it because it describes him and it flatters him. And he likes it, and everything he calls me is really cute stuff, and I really like it. And he doesn't call me stupid stuff like babe and bae and stupid stuff like that. He never calls me anything he's called somebody else. And every once in a while I go, have you ever called anyone else that? And he goes, no. And my first husband, I never called him anything I called anyone else. I made up all this unique stuff just for him. And my new fiance, I never called him anything I called my first husband. Because you pick something special for new people. That person is your mate, okay? You don't call them stupid stuff. You don't call everybody the same thing. Like, I go around and I just go around calling people hun, okay? And that's like everybody. That's males, females, kids. Everybody's hun, okay? But, like, I call my mate, like, I call him Etonon, because he's a Sagittarius, and Etonon, that's a horse. He's a horse, right? He's an Etonon. So everything I call him is like a horse theme, right? You know, like he's a sweet horse or something like that. So that's a thing that we do. And, you know, and he's my twin flame, and he's like all these other things that I've never said to anyone else before. So, but I don't call him things like poopsie whoopsie and dumb crap like that. I mean, I don't say things to embarrass him. And he says like cute things to me, and it's like, aww, you know, and it's nothing that makes me feel bad. It's nothing that's like, I'm like, oh my God, where'd you come up with that one? That's like so stupid. I never feel that way. I'm just like, aw, that's so cute. Like, aw. And none of it's embarrassing, and like, you know, I don't ever call him anything like weird that if someone else heard it, they were like, okay, that's weird. You know, they're like, whoa, that's really cool. Like, where'd you come up with that? You know, I'm like, oh, because, you know, he's a Sagittarius. I call him horse names. They're like, oh, okay, that's really cool. You know, that's, oh, when's his birthday? You know, so that's where that stuff comes from. But you have to make sure that when people start in with those generic names and stuff like that, that you nip it in the bud. Because when they do that, I'm sorry to say, that makes it easy for them to cheat on you. And it makes it easy for them not to take you as seriously. And if they come up with original names for you straight away, that means they like you more. To be honest, means they might want to keep you around a little bit longer. But I've been with other people, and I can tell that they're calling me names that they called everybody else. And I'm sure that after I left their life, they called that next person the same thing, and that next person, and that next person. And those are the kind of people that can't keep people around. And that's a really narcissistic trait, to call everybody the same thing. You can tell everybody's a babe, and everybody's sugar, and everybody's honey, and, you know, everybody's like the same thing, you know. You can just tell who has those kind of relationships. So if they don't knock it off, don't be afraid, and you have to make up the story in your mind beforehand. You know, if there's a few times they won't knock it off, just every once in a while go, you know, so-and-so used to say that, and start planning and have them think, so-and-so. Start planning little things in their mind so you can work up to start telling the imaginary ex-boyfriend or the ex-girlfriend story. So you can get them to stop saying those stupid little pet names, because that breaks their ego down, and they will stop it. And trust me, it'll stick in their mind, and it's negative reinforcement, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna work. So yeah, it's a dark tactic, but don't play fair in an unfair world, guys, because that's they'll stop. Okay, so otherworldlies, this is Juliana Angel, your Dark Mass Diva. And now you see why they call me the Dark Mass Diva. Everybody, you guys have a wonderful night. Do not get called babe anymore, okay? I love you all. Good night.